Okay, I want to start by saying that this thing took quite a while to get here. And I actually was wondering if it was going to show up at all. So this, I wanted to give a good picture of it just as I'm picking it up from, just as exactly how it comes. I did attach this arm onto here, it didn't come attached to it, but this is a nylon arm they included. But this is the Alexi 3D printed, MJF printed PVS-14 housing. Okay, and it honestly seems really nice. The main reason I got this is because it was cheap compared to other things. So just wanted to show you what it looks like just picking it up before I fuck with it, because I'm probably going to fuck with it and add a bunch of stuff to it. So here it is. So far, looks pretty good. We'll try it out some more when we get home. Okay, so this is essentially the cheapest night vision. Get the fuck. Cheapest night vision housing you can get, PVS-14 style. So it's not exactly PVS-14 style, but it's using PVS-14 optics. And this is their optics. These are supposedly lightweight lenses and a lightweight housing. This is MJF 3D printed, okay? And this I'm trying to figure out. So I have not even put the tube in it yet. This is just how it came, and it comes with this nylon dovetail arm, which actually looks okay. I have a better one, but I might use that just for weight reduction, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, this appears to use, I asked the seller, and he's like, AA, but it's like, there's no way AA fits in here. Fuck off! There's no way a AA fits in here. It's a AAA size thing. So he said it was AA. It says 3.7 volts on here. I don't know what that's about. But there's no way a AA is going to fit in there. It's too small. It fits a AAA perfectly. So once I get the tube in there, we'll see how it works. But as you can see, there's nothing for variable gain on here. This only takes a 100160 tube. It appears there's just an infrared and a power button there. So I'm going to assemble this, but my initial impressions and just showing you what it looks like when you get it, because I'm going to accessorize this quite a bit, and this will sort of be a review video for those accessories as well. But my initial impressions are this thing's pretty nice. One thing I had been considering was how this would be good for if you were explicitly interested in dual PVS-14s, independent, that you could take them off and stuff, use them independently or whatever. This would be really good for that because it's quite light. So I have never owned a PVS-14 before, so this is going to be my first experience. And again, I'm just showing you what it looks like. As you get it, you'll see it'll look a little different as it goes, but the tube that I'm using is one I got off eBay. It's a Gen 3 silver bullet or something. And if you were trying to build this without using a used tube, I don't know. I can't really say what the cheapest tube you can get is. Obviously, Gen 2 is cheap. Someone was trying to sell me a Chinese white phosphor Gen 2 Plus tube on eBay the other day for about $1,200. It's about the kind of thing that you would probably match this with if you were really on a budget. But yeah, so far it looks good. So let's see. Let's try to put it together. Okay, so I just installed my tube in here. So a few things I want to warn you about if you're going to buy this. obviously, this thing is 3D printed. These threads are like really easy to cross thread, obviously, both for the retaining ring thing on the inside and on the outside here of the lens. But everything kind of went back together pretty smoothly. I'm not sure how waterproof I would count on this thing being. The seal here is like, it's like a 3D printed gasket, and I have no idea what it's made out of. But anyway, this eye cup is something that I had already, so I put that on there. And on the back here you can see I have a light interference filter. This is a trick I heard about, but I do actually have the purple filter, and I got this GI magnifier lens, and this iris, Chinese iris. This is about $30. This is about $40 or $50, this filter. It's a little dusty. So the thing is, this appears like it takes a AAA battery, but what it actually takes is a 3.7 volt rechargeable battery that just happens to be the same size as a AAA battery. It's called like a 10440 or something like that. So upon figuring that out, I went ahead and ordered some. So I actually cannot turn this on yet. I mean, you can see here 3.7 volts. AAA's are like 1.5 volts or something, so it's not even enough to turn it on. But anyway, just showing you here what it looks like assembled with my stuff. This housing, it's very funny. I'm looking at the camera lens. It looks purple. Actually, it just looks black to my eye. So this is some kind of weird material that looks different on the camera. So yeah, we're going to try it out. So far, again, it seems okay. But this is where the video is going to take a break until I get the batteries. But the main thing, I was going to show how to put it together, but it's pretty simple. Everyone can guess. It's all the same. But I did want to make note that these threads are obviously super easy to fuck up because they're plastic, so be really wary of that. And then going over this little, these accessories. These are also all pretty cheap. This magnifier cost me about $130, $125. This filter here, I can't remember. They're not as cheap as I'd like, but they were probably like $20 or something. And then that one, I paid like $40 or $50 for this light interference filter, but you can get them for around $30 if you know what you're doing. Otherwise, even from China, they're not that cheap. They're like $60 or something. So I wouldn't recommend getting a Chinese one of those. Like this purple filter is fine. And then this I'll go over a little more later, but if you're curious about this is literally just a plastic fake ballistic mask. It's not real. This mount here is one of those fake Wilcox, LG, whatever's. You see them all over the place. This one actually came with this shroud. The shroud is mostly plastic except for the inner part, which is aluminum. Together, these cost something like $57. It was the best deal I could find, and it was both of the things I wanted. So I got it for this mask. I'll show you the helmet later. And then I mentioned that this did come with a nylon attachment arm. Seems okay. I got this Wilcox style one for about $30. I think that it's mostly, for me, it's about this. I don't want to keep it on the arm. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But yeah, we're gonna try this out. Obviously, there's not much of a provision for a counterweight here. I'm gonna try to do something about that. I'm gonna put a kind of a pouch thing on the back and then see how much it really needs it. But what I've been wondering is if this thing is light enough. It's pretty light with the tube in it and everything. It's pretty light. So I'm wondering if it's light enough that it actually makes sense to use. Like, maybe you've seen these, but these mounts, actually you can get them like fully made out of plastic or nylon. So I'm wondering if it's actually light enough that the nylon mount and the nylon J-arm actually makes sense. But I'm probably not going to end up using that just because it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But yeah, before we get to that, just to show you one more time, here's what it looks like with the accessories. And not that it matters to the viewer, but there's a tube in there. So once we get our batteries, we'll resume the video. So I just got my batteries in. Took a couple days, not too bad. So yeah, just again, these are not AAAs. These are 3.7 volt lithium batteries that are the size of a AAA. It's called a 10440. See that? Okay, so we plugged it in. It does turn on. So the housing appears to be fine. So you get a push button thing here. That's how it works. And then, yeah, I don't know if this mask thing, this is something I'm going to be basically reviewing too. Does this work? Because to give you an idea, essentially, at some point, we saw this thing, and I was like, huh, a night vision mount on a mask. But this mask is kind of hideous, in my opinion. I don't like it. But what's the point of this? The point would actually be it is much easier than carrying around a helmet. It's basically just a different flavor of skull crusher. It's still crushing your skull. We'll get into that more later. Some other side notes, because there's other things I'm reviewing at the same time. This is that purple filter. And what's in here right now, again, this is actually a light interference filter. Okay, so I saw this on like Reddit or something. Now I do have the aperture, the iris here, down to a pinhole, so it is actually safe to turn it on right now. Of course, we will be careful, but this isn't going to be perfectly in focus, obviously, but yeah, this is something I thought that was really interesting, this color palette here. So we'll look into that more later, but so far, so good. Okay, so like this mask, this is just an idea I had, wanted to try it out. Because like I said, a helmet, helmets are expensive. Skull crushers like suck. And it kind of looks hard. Not gonna lie, dog, look kind of hard. But so basically, this is cheap. This is another like budget-minded thing, rather than getting a Team Windy or something like that. This mask costs about 20 bucks, I think. I mean, yeah, it had to cost like 20 bucks. It's just ABS. It's like an airsoft mask. You can usually find it by searching like airsoft alien mask. They call it an alien mask. I don't know why. But yeah, so this is just kind of another budget concept. Again, this mount and this arm was like less than 60 bucks together. And then with this, 30 bucks. So 90 plus 20, it's a, 110 for the whole thing. Not too bad. So it does kind of, it works, right? Like it's not too crazy. The thing is like what you're gonna notice is on the back, you pull it down. You want these ones to stretch out, and that's what's going to hold it up. But yeah, just a side note here, this is it's not too bad. Well, I don't know how well you can see this, but yeah, this works good. It's pretty dope. Let's turn on the illuminator. Illuminator is not very bright. This camera is probably not really the best thing to try to show you night vision through, but basically just showing you it works. So one thing is, I wanted to say these filters do not work good. This is just a green Gen 3 tube, and it works. Like, you can see stuff, you know. This is not as easy to capture with this phone, and in some ways I can see how that 2 plus white phosphor should is probably even better than this a little bit sometimes. But anyway, those filters are bullshit. They do not really help at all. But so this mask thing works pretty good. This housing works pretty good. I would say that all in all, it's pretty good. You know, Carson lenses are probably better, but and you know, there's probably you know, something to be said about American-made PVS-14s, but just if you're looking into this, know that it's okay. It's not bad. Really not that bad. Thanks for watching. So yeah, this thing works pretty good, honestly, and so far I'm liking it. I kind of tried out the purple filter, was not impressed. It just seems to make the image dimmer right now. Outside it's really dark. There's no moonlight or anything. It's just complete cloud cover. I can still see pretty good, but then I put those filters on there. Either one, the light interference or the other one, and I kind of, the light interference one makes it a really nice color, but it just strips away the light. It just makes it not as easy to see. And the little adjustable iris thing on the front, honestly, I'm not sure if I'm going to use that either. I might just keep it to have it as a daylight cover. But yeah, it doesn't really seem, neither of the filters seem necessary. The iris doesn't seem necessary. One thing that is really dope though is the magnifier. The magnifier is really sick. I would definitely say try to get one of these as an accessory, just because they're cheap and they work okay. So as far as the product review, you know, it works. It's a good housing. It's really cheap. A few things though. One thing is there's no way to gas purge this. That's one thing. And really that's it. Like I said, I think that the lenses that these guys make, they have like some comparison photos in the listing, and it says, you know, they're almost as good as Carson lenses, but you know, they're not Carson lenses. However, you could just get this housing without, and just use nicer lenses, but it's pretty light, and honestly, I think it's worth the money. Like I said, it's about $200 cheaper than any other PVS-14 housing that you're going to find. I would say normally PVS-14 housings are like $730 or so. So, yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching. I would say just know it's going to take a while if you order from these guys. It says free, or it says fast shipping, but it's not fast. And also, just so you know, like, these were the same guys that were making that that PVS-31 digital thing, and I was gonna get that. I decided to just get this instead because I kind of didn't want to fuck with digital anymore. But somebody wrote a review and they were like, it's great, and then later they're like, it stopped working and I can't get a hold of the seller. And I was gonna say, with this, like, the seller honestly is not very easy to get in contact with or talk to, pretty much. So just keep that in mind. It's still kind of an order at your own risk thing, but as far as the housing itself goes, it's good. All right, thanks.